What if everything you thought you knew about cutting boards was wrong? The age-old debate of wood versus plastic has been simmering in kitchens for decades. But recent studies have turned this culinary conundrum on its head, revealing surprising truths about these kitchen staples. Ready to slice through the myths and get to the core of cutting board science? Picture this. You're in your kitchen chopping vegetables for dinner. That cutting board beneath your knife might seem simple, but it's actually a battlefield of bacteria, impacting your food safety with every slice. For years, home cooks and chefs have argued over wood versus plastic, each side claiming superiority. But what if neither side had the whole story? By the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge to choose the perfect cutting board for your kitchen, backed by science and a dash of history. We'll explore how trees fight bacteria, why your grandma's wooden board might have been onto something, and how to keep any board safe, regardless of its material. Ready to cut through the confusion? You've probably heard that plastic cutting boards are more sanitary than wood, but here's a mind-bending fact. When scientists put this to the test, they found something completely unexpected. The results might just change how you look at your kitchen tools forever. Imagine you're preparing dinner, chopping vegetables on your trusty plastic cutting board. You feel confident, thinking you've made the hygienic choice. But what if that smooth, seemingly easy-to-clean surface is actually a cozy home for bacteria? A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Food Protection has turned the tables on our understanding of cutting board hygiene. When researchers contaminated both wooden and plastic boards with high levels of bacteria, they discovered something surprising. The wooden boards didn't just hold their own against plastic, they outperformed them significantly. Here's where it gets really interesting. The study found that wooden cutting boards absorbed bacteria so effectively that within just 3 to 10 minutes, it became difficult to recover any bacteria from the wood surface. It's like the wood was playing a disappearing act with those pesky microbes. But what about our plastic friends? Well, they didn't fare so well. The study revealed that plastic cutting boards allowed bacteria to multiply on their surfaces when left overnight. This means that over time, plastic boards could actually harbor more bacteria, increasing the risk of cross-contamination in your kitchen. You might be wondering, how is this possible? It all comes down to the unique properties of wood. The porous surface of wooden cutting boards, which we might have thought was a drawback, actually works in our favor. As one researcher put it, bacteria may grow on cutting boards while wet, and wooden boards with porous surfaces dry faster. This faster drying time could be a key factor in wood's hygienic advantage. But before you toss out all your plastic cutting boards, let's put this into perspective. Both types of boards can be safe when properly cleaned and maintained. The key takeaway here is that wooden boards, especially those made from hardwoods like maple and walnut, have a unique ability to absorb and retain bacteria, potentially making them safer than we once thought. So, next time you're prepping your meals, you might want to give that old wooden cutting board a second look. It turns out, your grandmother's favorite kitchen tool might have been onto something all along. Who knew that in the battle against bacteria, trees had been silently fighting on our side for centuries? Trees aren't just silent giants in the forest, they're nature's own chemists. Ever wonder why some wooden cutting boards seem to last forever, even with daily use? The answer lies in a microscopic battle happening right on your countertop, and it's been going on for millions of years. Believe it or not, trees have evolved their own arsenal of antimicrobial compounds to protect themselves from decay and disease. When we use wooden cutting boards in our kitchens, we're tapping into this ancient defense system. Certain hardwoods like maple and teak are particularly effective at keeping bacteria at bay. But how does this woody wonder work? It's all about the unique structure of wood. Those tiny pores that make up the grain of the wood aren't just for show. They're actually working to trap and isolate bacteria. Once trapped, many bacteria find it difficult to survive on the dry wooden surface. As one study put it, the antimicrobial properties of wood are enhanced by the natural constituents within the wood, which may help in inactivating bacteria that come into contact with the surface. It's like having a built-in cleaning crew working 24/7 on your cutting board. Now, Before you rush out to buy any old wooden board, it's important to know that not all woods are created equal when it comes to kitchen use. Hardwoods like maple, walnut, and beech are your best bets. These woods have tight grains that increase longevity and require only occasional maintenance. On the flip side, some hardwoods like oak, despite their strength, are less suitable for cutting boards. Their large pores can actually harbor bacteria and lead to contamination. It's a reminder that even in the world of wooden cutting boards, there's still a hierarchy of hygiene. If you're enjoying this deep dive into cutting board science, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel, and you'll stay updated on all our latest kitchen tips and tricks. But what about the environmental impact of choosing wooden cutting boards? It's a valid concern, especially in our eco-conscious times. The key is to look for boards made from sustainably sourced wood. Many reputable manufacturers now offer cutting boards made from responsibly harvested trees or even reclaimed wood. By choosing a sustainable wooden cutting board, you're not just making a choice for your kitchen, you're making a choice for the planet. It's a way to bring a bit of the forest's natural defense system into your home, while also preserving those forests for future generations. Now that we've explored the natural defenses of wood, let's turn our attention to an often overlooked champion in the kitchen: your cleaning habits. Could the way you wash your cutting board be more important than the material it's made from? A study published in the Journal of Food Protection found that proper cleaning and maintenance are essential in minimizing bacterial contamination, regardless of whether you're team wood or team plastic. It's like discovering that the secret ingredient in your favorite recipe isn't an exotic spice, but the love and care you put into preparing it. So, what does proper care look like? For wooden boards, it's all about hand washing. Treat your wooden board like a cherished family heirloom. Gentle cleansing and occasional oiling to maintain its surface quality. Plastic boards, on the other hand, are the dishwasher's best friend. But be careful. Harsh conditions can lead to cracks that become cozy homes for bacteria. Here's where it gets really interesting. The study found that wooden boards, when used continuously in a small kitchen and cleaned properly, maintained low levels of contamination. The counts of those pesky aerobic mesophilic microorganisms, that's science speak for bacteria that love oxygen and moderate temperatures, were reduced to below acceptable limits. It's like your wooden board is working overtime, even when you're not in the kitchen. But don't count out plastic just yet. With proper care, plastic boards can be just as hygienic as their wooden counterparts. The key is in the cleaning method. Remember those harsh dishwasher conditions we mentioned? They can be a double-edged sword. While they're great for sanitizing, they can also damage your board over time. The study found that repeated harsh cleaning of wooden boards in the dishwasher resulted in cracks large enough to trap bacteria. So what's the takeaway? Whether you're chopping on wood or plastic, your cleaning routine is your secret weapon against bacteria. But there's more to consider than just cleanliness. Let's talk durability. Wooden boards, with their self-healing properties and natural antimicrobial defenses, can last for years with proper care. Plastic boards, while initially more resistant to knife marks, can develop deep grooves over time that harbor bacteria. It's a long game, and wood might just have the edge. Plastic cutting boards may pose another risk beyond bacteria: microplastics. Every time you use a knife on a plastic board, tiny plastic particles can be shed from its surface. These microplastics are invisible, but can end up in your food, and over time, may accumulate in your body. Microplastics are not biodegradable, so they persist in the environment, contributing to pollution in our oceans and waterways. Although research on the health impacts is still ongoing, some studies suggest they could lead to inflammation or toxicity when ingested. If your plastic cutting board has deep grooves, it's more likely to shed microplastics. This makes wooden boards a more appealing choice. Not only do they avoid this issue, but they also offer a more sustainable option. To minimize microplastic exposure, consider replacing worn plastic boards or switching to sustainably sourced wooden boards for a healthier, eco-friendlier kitchen. So, what's the verdict in the great cutting board debate? Both wood and plastic can be safe choices when you take good care of them. It's not just about the material, it's how you treat your board that really counts. Think about your cooking style and what matters most to you. Do you want something that looks great on your counter? Are you concerned about the environment? Or maybe you're all about easy cleaning? Remember, your cutting board is more than just a kitchen tool. It's a piece of culinary history that's been silently helping cooks for centuries. Next time you're chopping veggies, take a moment to appreciate your board. It's not just a slab of wood or plastic. It's science and tradition working together right there on your countertop. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other video on the fascinating history of breakfast. Just click over here to dive into the origins of your favorite morning meals.